Holy smokes, breaking news. Binance's CZ has gotten a pardon from U.S. President Donald Trump. We're going to be talking about that in today's video. I'm also going to share with you a strategy that I'm using in the current market pullback. I have a defensive strategy that I'm deploying. I'll discuss that a little bit later in the video as well. But we got to talk about this. I think this is pretty incredible. I think it's a net positive for crypto. Binance was accused of doing some horrible things. Primarily, they were accused of enabling money laundering. Now, I will tell you my thoughts about that in a moment and give you my opinions. But first, Binance CZ, the former CEO, CZ, as he goes by, just got a pardon. He requested a pardon back in May, and it just got awarded today. I think this is pretty incredible for Donald Trump. I mean, he lobbied hard for the pro-crypto movement, and he's putting actions behind his words. I mean, right away, he ended up pardoning Russ Ulbricht, which is wild. The crypto community, and he did not like this is the crazy thing about this. Russ more than CZ, but in both cases, he's not winning brownie points with his political base for doing this at all. Like at all. There's not enough people who are Republican who understand crypto to truly move the needle in a massive, massive way. There's just not. I mean, most voters who invest in crypto, yeah, they like crypto, but for very few of them is it the primary issue for them. So most people would not have cared. It definitely would not have hurt him not to pardon Russ or CZ. But the fact that he has, I mean, there's another way to say it than he's basically honoring promises he's made to the crypto community. He is on record as being the most pro-crypto president. Point blank, period. You don't have to like the guy, but he has been the most pro-crypto president. With that being said, he's the most pro-crypto, but he's not necessarily the most pro-individual crypto investor. He really is more pro-crypto company, more pro-crypto billionaire. And sometimes those interests align with those of us that are, ordinary investors. Sometimes they don't. All you got to do is look at some of the laws that are getting lobbied right now, some of the frameworks they're creating. They're well on their way of making crypto an asset that only sophisticated investors can invest in. That is not what it was designed for. And the truth is, they can't stop you from buying Bitcoin. You would just be doing it and it would be illegal. That's what's kind of interesting about crypto. They can't stop you from buying it. They can't stop you from holding it. They can't stop you from transacting in it, which makes it a phenomenal asset. But you would be doing so if you're a U.S. citizen, and it could be illegal at some point. And that's concerning to me as just a crypto enthusiast or crypto investor. So with that being said, anyone in the U.S., if you're investing in crypto, you just need to pay attention. They're going to pass all these laws, and they're going to claim that they're protecting you. Just like CZ, I want to move into, this is a good transition into my opinions on CZ and what he did wrong, as well as, or what he was accused of doing that was wrong, as well as I'll talk about my defensive strategies right now in the current pullback that we're in when it comes to investing and how I'm earning Bitcoin really passively through decentralized finance. All right, first let's talk about this. So CZ essentially got in trouble for being the CEO of Binance and enabling money laundering is what essentially come down to. They weren't saying he was laundering money. They were saying that he was enabling money laundering. The reason for this is because they played fast and loose with know your customer laws. They did not they did create Binance.us and Binance.us did require that you KYC, submit your ID and all that sort of thing. But it was an open secret that you could still use Binance.com. You just had to use a VPN, and support sort of even alluded to that. And they'd found emails and stuff and text chats where people sort of said, oh yeah, just use a VPN, just use a VPN. So they basically got in trouble for not being strict enough on the KYC AML laws, anti-money laundering and that sort of thing. But the purpose in crypto is that we could all transact freely. We didn't need permission or approval of the government to be able to transact. And so therefore, I personally didn't have a problem with what CZ did as someone who, believes in the economic freedom provided by cryptocurrency. So I sort of thought the guy got railroaded a little bit. Now you can make an argument that, they sort of got screwed in this way as well. They went all the way back to the beginning of Binance, and they tried to paint the case that they were created for the sole purpose almost of, as money laundering. That's just simply not true. Binance became into an existence in a world when no one really cared. There were no major laws of any kind. But as the laws got more strict, they did not match the level of restriction with their policies going forward. They were always playing a little bit loose. And I was okay with that because as an American citizen, you were screwed if you tried to, people would say, I can't use Binance. I was doing 3 trading bots for a while. And people were like, oh, I can't use Binance.com anymore. And it wasn't fair because Binance.com offered better fees, better promotions, better giveaway. They did airdrops, all sorts of things that Binance.us was not allowed to do. And even to this day, that still exists. Like if you look at what's available to the international investor outside the US, they get a lot more perks for using other exchanges, even to this day on Binance.com, than what American citizens can get, for example, on Coinbase. So I was always a fan of allowing everyone to get access to as much of the market as possible. Now, I prefer decentralized finance over centralized finance every time, point blank, period. And this is a good time to sort of move into sort of my strategy, my defensive strategy. There's a lot of things that I'm doing. I've always got my hands on a lot of stuff, but I haven't been putting out videos just because my business and my life has been really, really busy. But I will tell you, I am still selling options on Derive. I'm actually looking to work with a company to manage their options trading. Full stop. I may keep you updated on that as well. Derive.xyz is the website. I don't make anything by recommending these guys. I just like what they're doing. You get access to full options trading. Of course, they don't allow you to do it if you're an American citizen. They still allow the Binance workaround if you follow what I'm putting down. However, that being said, you can trade full options for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I mean, it's literal options trading, not some sort of strategy you have to invest in. So I've covered that on my channel in the past. The other thing that I'm currently doing right now as well is I'm still messing with Dexfi. I like Dexfi a lot. I made a video where I invest in their bonds. Bonds are down about 20%, but the APRs are good. The overall market's down, 15, 20% and more in some cases. So I'm not worried about that. However, I have sort of a new favorite strategy that I'm really doing pretty defensively over here, and that is I'm investing in this BTC Stacking vault. This is a vault that I started. It's a 75% compound, 25% profit. The profits are in Bitcoin on base, and I really love this because the underlying asset is Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't really care if it pulls back. I'm going to be investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum anyway. So it doesn't really matter to me at all. And it's the APYs have been pretty good, making 20%, 30%. Sometimes it has 80%. It spiked way over here in the beginning. That's normal. It's pretty simple. You just come over here, deposit your ETH or deposit your USDC. That's all you have to do. And I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. And then claim your profit every $5, $10, $15. Just claim your profit to your wallet. And this is like your HODL BTC. So you're compounding aerodrome rewards. This is what's happening because this is coming from it's coming from aerodrome. And so you get the Aero token. And in fact, I'll show you this right here, the rewards. You get the Aero token. So we're earning the Aero token. And 75% of that is used just to buy more Bitcoin and Ethereum. You're buying the underlying asset in the pool. And then we're earning rewards, and 25% we're able to claim as BTC. So I love this, and it's only down about 8.39%, and right now we're compounding. This is the perfect time to be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any asset that you believe in. You want to be buying it when everybody's selling. You want to be buying on the pullback. Well, when you're naturally compounding, we've naturally, since I started this, I'm up $123 that have been compounded back in. So when we go up, we're going to be in profit a lot faster on the way up. So this is my current strategy. I'm actually going to turn this. I'm going to keep stacking over here. I want to build this out. This is in addition to like my HODL wallet, my cold storage. Eventually, this will go to my HODL wallet. This will eventually go to my cold storage. Eventually, just stacking profits from BTC. Again, if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Binance CZ getting a pardon from U.S. President Donald Trump? Thank you so much for watching. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.